I tie my laces and walk adjacent to Father's patience. Right next to Satan, the sin lies that come me Raymond. Can't grow complacent, my heart is racing, the Lord is waiting. I follow in his footsteps, it's not complicated. I've been living in this hell, so I gotta make it. This could be my only chance, so I gotta take it. So I gotta take it. This could be my only chance, so Brothers been tripping for too long, so I've been walking face up through the mud with my boots on. And I'll be damned if I do wrong. I just hate when the news on, cause all I'm seeing is depression and oppression all up in their face. And they wanna give up on a day by day. Just know the Lord, he is making a way. So if you keeping the faith, hold your head high, it's gonna be okay. And I don't even feel no more. My people getting killed, it's getting really real. And they don't wanna live on, no. It's cause of the sin, why we always gotta die on the block. Why sisters always gotta cry on the block. And mama feel the pain when I walk out, walk. And she hates how I talk, why you talk like that?
Burn holes in my two sides. See the block is getting too high. Time's running low, need a new watch. They fell for the do-out. That thing. I really wish you knew that you all been through all these extreme things. I'm trying to figure out what happened to you and me, things. Trying to figure out what happened to unity, man. I'm flipping on the nose and hear the blues when I see things. I see hatred all around. Fighters and murders with a frown. My brother in a puddle on the ground, like what the hell we gon' do now? When everything is going south, remember who you are, pick up your car. How people feel no more. Feel no pain when they kill no more. Do you feel how I feel when I'm feeling sorrow? No.
And I don't even feel no more. My people getting killed, it's getting really real. And they don't wanna live on, no. It's cause of the sin, why we always gotta die on the block. Why sisters always gotta cry on the block. And mama feel the pain when I walk out, walk. And she hates how I talk, why you talk like that, like that?
Feel no more. Feel no more. Feel no more. Feel no more.
I feel no more.
I tie my laces and walk adjacent to Father's patience. Right next to Satan, the sin lies that come me Raymond. Can't grow complacent, my heart is racing, the Lord is waiting. I follow in his footsteps, it's not complicated. I've been living in this hell, so I gotta make it. This could be my only chance, so I gotta take it. So I gotta take it. This could be my only chance, so Brothers been tripping for too long, so I've been walking face up through the mud with my boots on. And I'll be damned if I do wrong. I just hate when the news on, cause all I'm seeing is depression and oppression all up in their face. And they wanna give up on a day by day. Just know the Lord, he is making a way. So if you keeping the faith, hold your head high, it's gonna be okay. And I don't even feel no more. My people getting killed, it's getting really real. And they don't wanna live on, no. It's cause of the sin, why we always gotta die on the block. Why sisters always gotta cry on the block. And mama feel the pain when I walk out, walk. And she hates how I talk, why you talk like that?
Burn holes in my two sides. See the block is getting too high. Time's running low, need a new watch. They fell for the do-out. That thing. I really wish you knew that you all been through all these extreme things. I'm trying to figure out what happened to you and me, things. Trying to figure out what happened to unity, man. I'm flipping on the nose and hear the blues when I see things. I see hatred all around. Fighters and murders with a frown. My brother in a puddle on the ground, like what the hell we gon' do now? When everything is going south, remember who you are, pick up your car. How people feel no more. Feel no pain when they kill no more. Do you feel how I feel when I'm feeling sorrow? No.
And I don't even feel no more. My people getting killed, it's getting really real. And they don't wanna live, oh no. No, no. It's cause of the sin, why we always gotta die on the block. Why sisters always gotta cry on the block. And mama feel the pain when I walk, how I walk. And she hates how I talk, why you talk like that, like that.
I feel no more.
I tie my laces and walk adjacent to Father's patience. Right next to Satan, the sin lies, they call me Raymond. Can't grow complacent, my heart is racing, the Lord is waiting. I follow in his footsteps, it's not complicated. I've been living in this hell, so I gotta make it. This could be my only chance, so I gotta take it. So I gotta take it. This could be my only chance, so Brothers been tripping for too long, so I've been walking face up through the mud with my boots on. And I'll be damned if I do wrong. I just hate when the news on, cause all I'm seeing is depression and oppression all up in their face. And they wanna give up on a day by day. Just know the Lord, he is making a way. So if you keeping the faith, hold your head high, it's gonna be okay. And I don't even feel no more. My people getting killed, it's getting really real. And they don't wanna live, oh no. No, no. It's cause of the sin, why we always gotta die on the block. Why sisters always gotta cry on the block. And mama feel the pain when I walk, how I walk. And she hates how I talk, why you talk like that,
Burn
like
holes in my
that.
two socks. See the block is getting too high. Time's running low, need a new watch. They fell for the do-out. That thing, that thing. I really, really wish you knew that you have been through all these extreme things. I'm trying to figure out what happened to you and me, things. Trying to figure out what happened to unity, man. I'm flipping on the nose and hear the blues when I see things. I see hatred all around. Fighters and murders with a frown. My brother in a puddle on the ground, like what the hell we gon' do now? When everything is going south, remember who you are, pick up your car. My people feel no more. Feel no pain when they kill no more. Do you feel how I feel when I'm feeling so no.
And I don't even feel no more. My people getting killed, it's getting really real. And they don't wanna live, oh no. No, no. It's cause of the sin, why we always gotta die on the block. Why sisters always gotta cry on the block. And mama feel the pain when I walk, how I walk. And she hates how I talk, why you talk like that, like that.
I feel no more.
We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus 5:1.
Christ. Yeah, that's right. I said Christ. I see Christ in you. You're my brother.
You are now tuned in to Truth Be Told.
I see my bros to be better than me. Truth be told.
You are now tuned in to Truth Be
This
Told.
is what we must do to avoid envy. Truth be told. Truth be told. And blacks and Hispanics are family. Truth be told. Truth be told. I just pray you see Christ when you see me. Truth be told. Truth
Watch
be
this.
told.
These men spoke wisdom because they understood the scriptures. Read.
A lot of people in that stronghold, and again, that's why communities are in the shape that they in because of sin.
Yeah, when
That's
we
an
bring up
example of sin.
Christ is black, people say color don't matter, but yet they ride into the movie theaters on elephants with kente claws because of a black superhero, but the color of Christ
All
don't matter.
scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
That hidden ones because our people don't know that we're the Israelites according to the Bible.
You see that? So once you apply all of this, that's what's gonna make you perfect. So you can be perfect.
You're now tuned in to Truth Be Told.
Shalom. Most High in Christ bless. You are now tuning into Truth Be Told DC. Broadcasting live. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear the truth according to the Bible. Hosted by Iuic DC. For music, clothing, and instruments of learning, visit originalroyalty.com and israelunite.org. Shalom.
Shalom, fam. Welcome back to Truth Be Told DC. I'm Officer Matthew to my left.
Officer Phineas.
Officer Mendel.
To my right.
Officer Micah.
So today's topic is medicine and food. So we're going to go in the scriptures, what it has to say concerning the medicine and our foods that we eat. But before we get there, let's open up with John 8:32.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So the truth is, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you make up the 12 tribes of Israel and we're called to repentance in the last days. So let's jump to 2nd Ezra. So we're going to get into it because we see some things shaking up in the earth, famines, lockdowns, and all this other stuff. Let's go ahead and get this real quick. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
And we might be wondering, what does that have to do with the food? Understand, cities getting locked down. They're not bringing food in or out. Read on.
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Right, and we're seeing these things going on throughout the earth. When that coronavirus first hit, the lockdowns hitting them other countries, it was all kinds of chaos going on. Read on.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
A what?
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread.
Because of the what?
Because of the lack of bread.
The lack of food.
And for great tribulation.
Right, and these things are happening, and they're going to continue to happen at a closer and closer frequency, if you will. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to make the comment, too, on what you're saying, because a lot of people in this country, they're not seeing that, but it's happening in different parts of the world. And I think it's in September when that Joe Biden money run out.
Right.
So you got a lot of people sitting at home with their feet propped up, getting that Biden check. When he cut that money off,
right,
you're gonna see that lack of bread in a lot of their houses.
Exactly.
That's so, don't think that thing gonna go on forever. We can't get comfortable here in Babylon.
Yeah, for example, you just look at Venezuela and Haiti. That's prime examples right there. The gas price is damn near 10, 20x like some crypto. You got gas lines like literally miles down the road.
Hey, yeah, but in Venezuela, remember, people eating well, actually eating meat out of dumpsters, eating meat that's rotten, bone stew. That's how bad the poverty has gotten. And a lot of times the power is out, so all of the food in the refrigerator spoil. But they don't throw it out. They still got to eat it because there's nothing else.
Right, and I'm glad y'all elaborating on that, because when you see these things going on in the cities, you can't travel anywhere. How are you going to get to a doctor? And then what is the quality of the doctor more than likely that you're going to go to? Give me that in Job, because that's some heavy stuff. We don't think about these things when we see these lockdowns, but you're looking at a lack of food and medical treatment. Read that.
The book of Job, chapter 13 and verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value.
Right, especially nowadays with this medicine, quote-unquote medicine they got out there to help you. Now they paying you, they giving you winning lottery tickets and free chicken and all that. Let's go ahead and roll this video real quick. Roll this Rand Paul video.
He told you. Senator Rand Paul calling out the media after newly released emails show a key Wuhan researcher thanked Dr. Fauci for downplaying the coronavirus lab leak theory. But still, the press wasted no time gushing over the emails, 3,000 plus, actually praising their frank honesty and the pressure that fell on one man's shoulders. Senator Rand Paul joins us now to react. Senator, I watched you with Laura last night. I've been watching you along the way. We also watched your exchanges with Dr. Fauci live. What do the 3,200 emails tell you?
Well, they tell me that early on he was very worried. There's a disturbing picture. He gets an email or he gets notification of what's going on in Wuhan, and he immediately sends something to his assistant, an email saying, we must meet immediately. Read this article. And in the subject line in the article, it says gain of function research in Wuhan. Well, he still denies to this day that he was funding it. And as you know, gain of function is where you take an animal virus and you make it into a super virus that infects humans. They were doing this at the Wuhan lab. Dr. Fauci still denies it to this day. But in his private emails, he puts in the subject line, urgent, we must discuss this gain of function research. So he knows it's gain of function, and he needs to be pinned down on this. There are scientists across America who will dispute what he's saying, who says that specifically the grant and the money given to Wuhan that Dr. Fauci approved, that it was gain of function research. And we need to talk to these scientists in this field and hear from them about how Dr. Fauci is not being honest with the American public.
And, just the tone of some of these emails, even though some of them are redacted, some of them are redacted, show the urgency. Basically, OMG. Are we basically responsible for that? And should the guy who's funding these labs be in charge of telling America how to handle it and what happened here? There's a disconnect to putting him in charge. That was a big mistake.
Yeah, so early on, I was somewhat persuaded. All these scientists were telling me that it couldn't have come from the lab, and I listened to them. But then I discovered that they had not revealed that they were the very scientists that were funding the lab. So the conflict of interest is this. If this virus came from the lab, there's a certain amount of at least moral culpability to the people who are advocating for this. Dr. Fauci, to this day, says he still trusts the Chinese scientists. I don't think he seems to be aware of the way it works in a communist government. Do you think there aren't military generals in that lab as well? Do you think some of the scientists aren't also in the Communist Party and the military? So I don't think that having trust of Chinese scientists.
So that's just showing you that these so-called physicians is behind the what's that thing called? The gain of function research, making the super bug and all this other stuff. Go. You want to say something else? Bring that up.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the same man that's behind actually creating this medical situation that we got is the same man that's supposedly trying to fix it. And everybody listening to this so-called doctor. And then we didn't put the video in there, but it was also a video that came out on Facebook about Facebook and how people that's getting sick from taking this medicine that they trying to bribe everybody into taking. As soon as like if you're an individual and you got somebody in your family or you personally you have an issue with this medicine that they're giving you, you try to post that up on Facebook, they immediately take it down and won't let you post anything negative about the medicine. That came out 2 weeks ago. So it's a lot of people that's actually been getting sick from taking this medicine, but nobody can find out about it because it gets removed before it gets put up.
Right. So let's go. And he made a point that he needs to be pinned down and basically justice needs to be served. It ain't no justice. Get that in the back, man. It's 1 and we're going to read 3 and 4.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 1 and verse 3. Why dost thou show me iniquity?
Right. You look at this program like, why are you showing us all this evil? Read on.
And cause me to behold grievance.
And this is just grievous when you look at these damn devils. Read on.
For spoiling and violence are before me.
And that's all you see. That's all you see. Read on.
And there are that raise up strife and contention.
Right. We see that's going on now. If you try to bring out the evil that's going on, you got other people that bring up strife and contention. They call you conspiracy theorists, hate groups, and black identity extremists. Watch this, though. Read on.
Therefore, the law is slacked.
Because this man doesn't want anybody to rise up and call out his evil, but we definitely are. The law is slack. That's why it's never no justice in this man's system. Read on.
And judgment doth never go out.
Right.
Go forth.
This dude's sitting on all these emails showing that he lied under oath about the gain of function, the research, the funding of the lab. This dude lied straight to Congress, and his emails convicting him. Read that again.
Therefore, the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth.
Right. You don't expect no judgment and no justice here in America. Christ is issuing the real justice. Read on.
For the wicked doth compass about the righteous.
What?
For the wicked doth compass about the righteous.
So how is he compassing about the righteous with that damn TV? Read.
Therefore, wrong judgment proceeded.
Right. That's why you just be grieved in the spirit when you look at the news like this dude is on tape. He got his mama IDing him. He got his emails, voice recording, retina scan, and then like, nah, we done got enough evidence to convict him. Right, it ain't him. But let's go back. You want to say something, officer? Let's go back to more of these physicians. Watch this. Let's go to Luke.
The book of Luke, chapter 8 and verse 43. And a woman having an issue of blood 12 years.
Right, we got out that. Let's bring that up today. We got brothers with blood issues, sickle cell, and what else they got out there that affect your blood? Anemia, all that. No cures for nothing. Read.
Which had spent all her living upon physicians.
Right, that's damn sure the truth today.
Neither could be healed of any.
And our people are running into that, especially this pharmaceutical. They know the cause and the reason why you get sick, but they give you pills to facilitate getting rid of the symptoms, not fixing anything. Yeah, the treatment.
Hey, you know something? They actually make you sick with the stuff. Well, we're going to get into it later on.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
for
food
sure.
And all that. So they know what's making you sick, and then they don't give you a cure. They, like you said, they give you treatment because they make money off, just like they made money off the sister here.
Right.
The physicians just giving a whole bunch of stuff they know that's not going to cure nothing.
And it's just enough to string you along a couple, maybe 20, 30 years till you finally die. So they can drain as much money as they can.
Right, and then you die. And they not interested in improving quality of life. This dude now, they paying people to take this medicine. Get up out of here, man. People going blind and paralyzed and some more stuff. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 12. Watch this.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16 and verse 12. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health.
But what?
But thy word, O
what?
Lord, thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things, for thou hast power of life and death. Thou leadest to the gates of hell,
meaning the grave,
and bringeth up again.
Right. All healing comes from the Lord, man. Make no mistake about it. If he wants to bless the hands of the physician to get you healed, that's what he'll do. All healing comes from the Lord. So it don't matter. You can have all your natural paths and all your, you see all these jokers, these, herbalists and all that. Make no mistake. All that comes from the Most High, man. So let's keep it moving. You got that?
The book of Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 15.
Watch this.
Verse 14. For they shall also pray unto the Lord that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. He that sinneth before his maker.
He that what?
Sinneth before his maker. let him fall into the hand of the physician.
Right. So it's been quite a few classes that the bishops and the captains brought out on sin and sickness. Go ahead, officer. Bring it up.
Yeah. That means like, look, if you in the midst of sin, if you ain't keeping the Most High God's laws, expect to get sick. Expect that thing.
Right. Jump up to verse 9 now. Watch this.
Verse 9. My son, in thy sickness, be not negligent. But pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole.
Read.
Leave off from sin, and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness.
So this applies if you find yourself sick, and you know in your mind you've been in the midst of sin. That's why the scriptures say, look, before the healing come, clean up your spirit first. Yeah, jump to 12.
Verse 12. Then give place to the physician.
So that's the order, making sure that you're not in the midst of sin. Now, we're not saying that you're not going to get sick if you're keeping the commandments, but it's a for sure guaranteed if you're in the midst of sin, the sickness is coming.
Yeah, like for examples, brothers or sisters that's keeping the commandments will get the flu, but it'll be like a day or two. Somebody that's in the midst of sin will get the flu and be sick for like 3-4 weeks and be like, damn, why I'm not getting over this?
Or get put to death.
Or you got a brother that's in sin and he out there fornicating and stuff. He mess around and catch AIDS or something like that, versus somebody that's not keeping, that's keeping the laws. You don't have to worry about that.
Verse 12. Then give place to the physician, for the Lord hath created him.
That's the physician he created.
Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him.
Right. So read verse 13.
There is a time when in their hands there is good success.
And that ties back into what we read in Wisdom of Solomon 16 and 12. So understand that thing. That's why we got to make sure that we got our spirits right. When we find ourselves sick, let's make sure we're not in the midst of sin, family.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 25. And I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. And when you are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you.
Damn.
And ye shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy.
Right, and we got the pestilence in our community now, but now our people are willingly delivering themselves into the hand of the enemy, lining up, getting this medicine shot in them twice.
Taking selfies.
2 hits, boom. And that thing hit. Oh. Yeah, man, that thing ain't no good. You want to say something off? I know you want to say something.
I was just going to say, it's a lot of, I personally talked to some people that said that they know people that took the medicine. They ain't here no more. Checked out like the next day, the same day.
Right.
And if you try, like I said, if you try to put that information out there, they killing it because they got to get as many people in that trap as they can get.
60% of the world population.
That's their target they're trying to get. Damn. So let's go ahead and
get this article.
Yeah, let's get the article and the video. I think it's a video in the article. Video first? No, we'll read the article. Just read the headline. Look at this mess.
Canada pop-up clinic offers kids free ice cream to get COVID vaccine. No parental permission required. Damn. Only in Babylon. Hold on, look. Go up. Go up. Look at the imagery. Damn. All right, go down. Zoom in a little bit for me. Can you zoom in a little bit? Yeah, everything. There we go. Children in Canada as young as 12 are being given free ice cream to take Pfizer's experimental mRNA therapy medicine with no parental permission required.
That right there, man,
and
that right there can get somebody hurt, Slim.
Hey, and that stuff right there is a segue into that other agenda that they was pushing out about young children having sex with their own sexuality and sex with grown men without their parents' consent and all of that. That's that NAMBLR stuff and all of that.
It's a slippery slope.
Throngs of police were filmed guarding one site from outraged parents at Nathan Phillips Square in Toronto. A pop-up medicine clinic in Canada that is offering kids free ice cream in exchange for medicine. No parental permission required. Oh, I read it twice.
Hey, so that's kind of messed up because think about this. A child is, the scriptures tell you is foolishness in the heart of the child. So they just thinking, oh, I'm going to get me some ice cream. They're not thinking about the medicine they're going to receive.
Why isn't why isn't all of Canada rising up, giving children medicine with no parental permission required?
So that's dealing in deception right there.
Yeah, some cursing in that. This
It's
is
cursing
wicked
in the
as
video.
hell, man.
Some harsh language.
Children line up for a free ice cream.
Hey, Rise Up, we are at
To play, you're going to be held accountable, every single one of you. Every single fucking one of you. Every one of you. I'm inviting you now to join us. To stop this happening. Right now.
That you took. What's the oath that you took to serve and protect? And now you're letting children line up for a free ice cream.
Hey, Rise Up, we are at Nathan Phillips Square. We're at the pop-up vaccine clinic,
There's stuff going in those kids'
and
bodies.
the police
And they don't want.
have
They're not
just
even old enough to make an informed
told us
choice.
that we are not allowed
So you as
to be
adults-
on the Nathan Phillips Square property.
You as
So
adults
we're
should be
out on the
protecting them,
sidewalk
serve and
now,
protect. You're not doing your oath, are you? None
and we're
of you.
trying to speak to the
I
police.
told you before.
Or making this, they want to make the child make their own decisions, have free will at an early age. Because remember, the scriptures tell you, in the heart of a child is foolishness when they're young. So they want the children to be free to do whatever they want. And at the same time, you got all these pedophiles out here ready to grab them.
Right, and the state want to step in, and that go back to that Deuteronomy 28, where your sons and daughters shall be given unto another people. That's an example of that. So let's keep it moving. Let's go to Acts chapter 8. Because you got to think, like, what's up with them police officers guarding something like that, man? That's just letting you know, man. Them Edomite cops will line you up, slim, and put you slam to death. Make no mistake about it. Read that.
The book of Acts, chapter 8 and verse 9. But there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in the same city used sorcery.
That sorcery today is that television. Read.
And bewitched the people of Samaria.
Right. Now, our people just totally bewitched by that TV. You talk to a Negro here, you fly to California, talk to another Negro, he going to sound exactly the same. Like MSNBC or CNN.
Uncle Joe.
Straight weaponized witchcraft. Read on.
Giving out that himself was some great one.
And remember they had that shrine erected to your boy, Fauci. Read.
To whom they all gave heed.
To what?
To whom they all gave heed.
Right. Bill Gates couldn't even fix your virus on your computer, but now this dude got medicine to fix your body. Everybody listen to this dude. He ain't even a damn doctor. Read.
From the least to the greatest. Saying, this man is the great power of God.
Don't they say that about Esau? Everything they say. People still got 16 masks on here in the city, man.
Hey, I know a brother that works amongst Dr. Fauci, and they said in the call, they be calling him the great Dr. Fauci. Just goosing at his feet.
Damn.
The great Dr. Fauci.
Right. Read on. That's what we're reading here.
And to him they had regard, because that of a long time he had bewitched them with sorceries.
Right, this dude got all kinds of evils going on. They had one of the doctors that worked with him in the lab. This dude helped with the AIDS and all types of stuff. She went out there and put all that stuff out there. But don't nobody want to hear that because they bewitched with CNN and MSNBC.
But when they believe, that's it.
That's it on that. That's it on that. Let's go to Revelation 18 and 23. Because that's what we're looking at is weaponized witchcraft, man, in this technological age, man. They could transmit straight foolishness to hitting millions of dome pieces at one time.
The book of Revelations, chapter 18 and verse 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee.
Right, that's talking about destruction of Babylon the Great. Read.
For thy merchants were the great men of the earth.
Right, all these big companies, the Fortune 500s and all that, your Bezoses and Teslas and all that. Read.
For by thy sorceries.
By thy what?
Sorceries were all nations deceived.
So the Bible is telling you the nations is deceived following this man, his politics, and his economics because it's all sorceries, man. You want to say something else?
I would say even in his medicines because he running. You turn on the TV, all you see is pretty much a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week ad for that medicine. Come get this medicine. They done scared you. They spent the whole year scaring you to death into getting the medicine.
Right.
Then you get the medicine. Oh, it's fine. You're going to be good now. But they don't tell you what's happening to people that's actually
And you still got to
taking
wear your damn mask.
And now they're trying to shame people in the workplace, too. If you do get the medicine, it's like just like you said with the Nazis. If you do get the medicine, you don't got to wear a face mask. You don't got to do this. If you don't get the medicine, you got to wear a face mask and do certain things. They literally separating people like trying to class us.
What the hell happened to the HIP Act? I thought you weren't supposed to discuss your medical business. Come on, man. This dude is a hypocrite, man. This hypocrisy is being revealed by the Spirit of the Lord. Let's go ahead and get Isaiah 49. Let's roll through this.
Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 9. 47 and 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. The loss of children and widowhood.
That's talking about destruction. Going to bring both of that at one time. Read.
They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries.
That's some heavy stuff because of the multitudes of the sorceries. That destruction is going to come at its perfection. So you know God is behind this. Read.
And for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
Right, this dude got game after game. This dude get caught in lies, and they just talk their way out of it, man. They just got like a whole closet or treasure chest of lies, man. Read.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me.
Right, because they think they got everybody hypnotized by the TV. Read.
Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee.
Meaning that their minds are off because they think nobody's seeing this evil and the Lord ain't seeing it chiefly. Read.
And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
That's pride right there. Can't nobody do nothing. Can't nobody stop us. Read.
Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth.
Damn.
And mischief shall fall upon thee.
Right, because they looking to use mischief to fall upon everybody on the earth. Read.
Thou shalt not be able to put it off.
It ain't no getting out of this when the Lord brings this judgment.
And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
Meaning you not going to have no answers. Let's see. Read.
Stand now with thine enchantment.
Right, so when that destruction comes, let's see how effective CNN is. MSNBC, Fox, read.
And with the multitudes of thy sorceries.
Right, you can get all your peoples out there, all your commercials. What good is it going to do you in that day? Read.
Wherein hast thou labored from thy youth.
They've been running games since 1776. Read.
If so be thou shall be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail.
In other words, it ain't no way you getting out of this thing, man. Yeah, get verse 13.
Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels.
Right, they gonna be going back and forth to each counselor, talking to this witch, that sorcerer. Ain't nothing gonna work. Read.
Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from all these things that shall fall upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble.
Damn.
The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
They can't even deliver themselves, yet alone Babylon the Great. Read.
There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it.
Meaning it's going to be straight ashes to ashes, dust to dust. That's what that's saying. So let's listen. Let me get my last one. Give me that Micah. We really in the age where we looking at high-powered witchcraft. At its zenith. You're right. You in the spirit with that. Let's read that real quick. Yeah,
the book of Micah, chapter 6 and verse 10. Are they yet the treasures of wickedness?
Are they yet the treasure? Like I said, got a treasure chest full of just wickedness, man.
In the house of the wicked? And the scant measure that is abominable?
Right. Everything about this place is abominable, man. Read on.
Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances?
And everything is a false balance. Everything is access. That you could order Uber Eats as much food as you want. You could do this. You could do that. Everything is access and is wicked, man. Read.
And with the bag of deceitful weights?
Right, and with the bag of deceitful weights. Like the one dude, let's give an example of the EpiPen. That thing was, what, like $30, $40? And he raised it up, what, like $800 or something crazy?
Yeah, hey, look, inflation.
Right.
You paying more for products that have not, really you paying for the same product that you paid years ago, but nothing has been added to it. You paying more for your mortgage, more taxes.
Right.
But you ain't getting you're not reaping no reward.
Right. I bought my son some Doritos. It was a big bag like this. You crack the joint open, it was this many Doritos, like the bottom quarter of the bag, man.
And the thing is, they try to push off that the outrage at other people, but like the one white man that bought the medicine raised the price up. They was mad at him at court, but who did he buy from? I mean, that's been out. He's just the one that made it public.
Man, I'm telling you, man, Esau something else. Go to Psalms 10, and let's go to verse 4.
The book of Psalms chapter 10 and verse 4. The wicked through the pride of his countenance.
So it says the wicked. So let's get the wicked. Go to Job 9:24, just so we can get the understanding real quick. Because this thing is, we got to understand who we're dealing with right here.
The book of Job chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
So who's running the earth right now? This is a question that we always ask out on the streets. And everybody act like it's confused. You know, they confused. Read.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
Who's covering up the real face of the Israelites? Read.
Therefore, if not, where and who is he?
So that's letting you know who the wicked is. It's Esau, the one that's running this world right now. He controls the banking system. He controls the medical system. Everything you see, the television, everything is him. He's in control of everything.
Hey, and the crazy part, when you read that verse, the script says, if it's not him, then who is it? Because when you look at this dude's track record, he done colonized and conquered the entire earth. All nations he have went to. He has pushed his democracy. He has pushed his warfare upon all nations and got them all in subjection.
And he destroys everything, man. Destroying the air, the food, everything. Go back to Psalms 10. Let's read through that.
The book of Psalms chapter 10 and verse 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance,
very prideful, read,
will not seek after God.
They ain't gonna seek after God because they think they are God. They can create all kind of, like we saw in the lab. He creating all kinds of viruses and all that type. Then he turned out the same one creating the virus is the same one that's gonna fix it. You can't make this stuff up, man. Read.
God is not in all his thoughts.
They don't think about God at all. Like I said, they think they are God. They create their own God.
Right.
There you go.
Caesar Borgia.
Hey, pull up that
Caesar
image. Hey, Mike, Officer Mike, you had to read this again.
Caesar Bo is what they
and the
created,
headline at
which
the
is
bottom.
idolatry. Christianity is idolatry.
Read verse 4 again. Look, I'm going to read the bottom. It says, Martin Sheeney weighs in the EpiPen scandal calls drug maker vultures. This is the guy that raised up the hike. He raised up the price of the EpiPen. He's standing in front of Congress. Look at this dude's look on his face. Read that again, man.
Psalms chapter 10 and 4. The wicked through the pride of his countenance.
Look at that dude, man. He was up in there. He was laughing at him and all that stuff, man, knowing they couldn't touch him.
Verse 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
And he don't think he going to pay for none of that stuff, Read.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
That dude got the face. He was puffing at all them congressmen when they was getting on him about how he took the EpiPen price from $40 to like $400 or $800 or something crazy. That's it on that, man. I just wanted to show you the visual of this dude with the pride on his face after just jacking the price up on an essential product, man.
Read verse 6.
Verse 6. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
So they think everything always going to be sweet. That's that Psalms 49 and 11. Get that real quick. Because they think Babylon, the kingdom going to go on forever. This thing ain't going to never end. Because they never faced judgment for anything they did. All the evil they did, they've been in good. They've been having it good the whole time, still running things. Read that.
Book of Psalms chapter 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
You see that? Read.
And their dwelling places to all generations.
Read.
They call their lands after their own names.
See, that's letting you know right there who that's talking about. Let's jump back to Psalms 10. And read verse 7.
Psalms 10 and verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud.
And what?
And fraud.
Take this medicine. Everything going to go away. You're going to be much better once you take this medicine. Matter of fact, we're going to give you some lottery tickets. We're going to get, they giving you hot dogs. You get to sit on this side of the stadium and the other people got to sit on the other side. You can take your mask off. Read.
Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
A whole bunch of lies. Jump to Proverbs 20 and 10.
Hey, I thought America was a democracy.
Yeah, it's a democracy. That's what they tell you. That's what they told Afghanistan and Iraq. We bring in democracy. And they got rubble over there now. Read that. Yeah, gay clubs. Yeah, gay nightclubs. That's what they brought.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 20 and verse 10. Diverse weights and diverse measures. Both of them are alike, abomination to the Lord.
Because Esau is always going to do one thing, tell you one thing, and then do something else with his medicine, like Officer was bringing out. You got the EpiPen. How much was it? $30. It was $30 or $40. Then it went up to like $800 or something crazy. But the thing is, you got to think about this. He's telling you could come to CVS, you can go to Walgreens, you can get free ice cream and everything. Just take this medicine because we don't want you to die. But now, if you got high blood pressure, you can't get free medicine. If you got diabetes, you can't get free medicine. So if they so worried about your life, why are they giving you this free medicine, but the other medicine you got to pay all this money for? If you want a insulin pen, it's $300-400 for one pen. But, they so concerned about your life.
Hey, you know what? I just had a thought. Because we got to examine the track record of Babylon the Great. They invest in making you sick for you to come back later and get medicines from them at a higher price. So who's to say that this free medicine they're giving you is not going to make you sick where you got to come back later and get something more expensive?
So the price of EpiPens in 2007 were averaged out at about $57. By 2016, they were more than $600.
Yeah, but hey, this man trying to save you. Come get this free medicine. That's that. Read that again. Proverbs 20 and 10.
So free medicine, but no free health care, though, for stuff that you really need.
Yeah, Proverbs 20 and 10. One more time.
Yeah.
20 and 10. One more time, just to make the point. They give you free medicine on this hand, but then the other stuff you got to pay hundreds of dollars for.
Proverbs 20 and verse 10. Diverse weights and diverse measures. Both of them are alike abomination to the Lord.
So if you got diabetes, you got to pay $300-400 for a pen. But if you want this other medicine, that's free.
And
that's experimental.
If you can't afford health insurance, we're going to tax you again for not having it.
Bam. All right, let's go to Genesis.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain.
So Cain is the Esau is the spirit of Cain. That's what we getting at. The same white man was Cain back in the garden. Read.
And said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground.
Letting you know that Esau, Cain, was working the ground. Read.
And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
Read.
And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Because he did it according to the law, because they had laws back then. Now jump down to verse 10 through 12. Let's get that.
Verse 10, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of
jump to verse 9, because Cain killed his brother. And let's
verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
Read.
And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
A lie from the start. Read.
And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
Keep reading.
And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
So God cursed him, but let's get to this part right here. Verse 12, this is what I wanted.
When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
You see that? Letting you know that this man was going to have a problem growing crops. That's what that's letting you know. That this man, crops is not going to prosper with this man right here. Read.
A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
So if you're a fugitive, that means you running because you haven't paid for your crimes. So that's what I was bringing out earlier. Esau has never paid for his crime, and he can't grow no food.
And he a bum because he got no home. He got no land.
He steals everything that he got. So what has Esau done? He's created GMOs. Go ahead and get the video. Let's watch the video.
Pay close attention to what you are about to see. These images will be seen around the world. These rats have been fed with transgenic corn during their entire life cycle. The tumors they suffer from are enormous. We were able to witness the study in its entirety. It lasted for 2 years. Following years of doubt and controversies, will we finally know the truth about GMOs? Would we then be faced with a health crisis of global proportions?
But what is undeniable is that in the group that has been exposed to the GMOs, there is a 600% increase, or 6 times more deaths, compared to the control group. As far as medicine or biology is concerned, there is no need for further testing.
An important fact is that all the studies carried out on the rats are done over a 3-month period. It so happens that none of the effects are visible until the 4th month. This is fundamental in understanding that studies conducted over a 3-month period are useless. This conclusion is easily understandable. It could be said that their only use is to soothe the consciences.
After having studied these tumors, it can be said that 94% of them take effect in the mammary glands, which would equate to breast cancer in a woman. We are faced with renal tumors for the males, but not only, some males also suffer from mammary tumors. This points towards a hormonal effect that isn't affected by the dosage. 60% of breast cancer cases are caused by hormonal deficiencies. GMO manufacturers need to conduct them before commercializing their products.
A moratorium on growing GMOs has been approved by most European countries. Now that we know the results of the study conducted by Professor Serralini, could it be time to extend this moratorium to all the GMO used in many of our foods? Will GMOs be responsible yet again for a calamitous scenario? And while we are waiting for scientific certainties, evidently, this is a risk we cannot afford to take.
So they letting you know that in those rats, when they went past the 3 months, that they got, like a lot of the female rats got breast cancer. So now you got them out here marching or running, having the race for the cure. But when they know the cause, they know what the cause is. They know that all these women out here getting breast cancer, a lot of it is from the food that they serve them. But they want you to race for a cure so that the medical companies can continue to get rich. They never race for the cause. You got to see the craftiness in what they're doing there, man. And they understand what they're doing, because why would you stop the study after 90 days when you know that if you went on another month, all the effects come in and that stuff is not safe for people to eat? That's some wicked stuff right there, man. All right, let's go to, let's jump down to, let's get Deuteronomy 22 and 9.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 9.
Let's see what the law is.
Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled.
So Esau just ignored that law. He said, look, I'm going to add pieces of a frog to a vegetable plant and all that. He gone way overbound. The Most High was just talking about maybe 2 plants intertwining. He putting animal parts and everything else in his plants.
Well, they put chicken genes in the oranges so they can grow them in a northern climate so they don't freeze, man. This is crazy, man.
Yeah, Esau he done went above and beyond breaking the laws. He take it to the next level. Go to 1 Timothy 6.
I'm going to read the definitions we got.
Okay.
The differences between hybridization and GMO. Hybrids can occur naturally, or they might be facilitated by humans. GMOs are always created in laboratories.
So guess what? They're using a mad scientist to create this stuff so they can try to grow food, because they can't grow food. Get that 1 Timothy 6 and 20.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings, and oppositions of science, falsely so called.
So God is letting you know, don't put your trust in science. Esau's science is always garbage, just like the free medicine he got, and his foods is garbage. Letting you know straight out. Go to, we're going to skip the video. Go to Ezekiel 4:13.
Right, and we got some viewers that's watching the show that's dropping some heavy comments in there, even talking about the hormones and the chemical residue from people using the bathroom, from the birth controls. We're not even going to talk about the hydrofluoric acid in your damn water. You know, they got all kinds of crazy stuff going on, lead and some more stuff, man. So they're trying to give you a cosmic cocktail of toxins to put the children of Israel to death and sterilize
make you sick so they can make big money. That's why I said, what makes you think that they giving out free? Like you said, officer, they don't give free health care. They don't give you free things to help you actually grow healthy and strong. But what they do is they have a pattern of feeding you poisons so that when you get sick, so you have to rely on the medicines. Like, think about that. Years ago, you didn't have diabetes as it is today. You know what I'm saying? Autisms, all the little diagnoses they had for the kids, ADHD, all of that stuff wasn't back in like the 80s and 70s and 60s.
Hey, look, even something as simple as eczema that a lot of kids get from, guess where they get it from? The medicine. As soon as they're born, they shoot them with the medicine, and then it messes with their autoimmune system. And now then they break out.
Even depression. Now all of a sudden, there's two generations that are all the kids are depressed, all the teenagers depressed.
And you know what's crazy? You can't even get garbage food like McDonald's for free, but they giving out a free vaccine to make you healthy, man. A free medicine to make. Come on, man.
All right, let's see what our forefathers let us know. Read that.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them.
So the Most High is already letting us know that food that we eating is going to be defiled. So look, just do the best you can. Pray over it. Understand what we're dealing with here. These people is trying to kill us and make us sick. Jump to Psalms 51. Yes, I do. I got it.
The book of Psalms, chapter 51 and verse 7. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow.
Okay, so let's read the definition of why our ancestors said that. Read that right there. Let's see what hyssop do. So it's letting you know that our ancestors understood the values of herbs and natural remedies for sickness and things like that, even though he's talking spiritual here, but read that.
Hyssop has long been used to expel mucus from all parts of the body and is a blood purifier. Hyssop is used for digestive and intestinal problems, including liver and gallbladder conditions, intestinal pain, intestinal gas, colic, and loss of appetite. It is also used for respiratory problems, including coughs, the common cold, respiratory infections, sore throat, and asthma.
Now, that's a lot of things that thing benefits you. You understand that one plant right there?
Right, but you see our forefathers, or the Lord put the Spirit on them because they know that your sicknesses reside in mucus, low oxygen environment. Like your mucous membranes is where these diseases from various medicines and food reside.
And what's the biggest thing? Well, that they used to push. I don't know no more. They used to push our people. They gave us mucus. Milk. Oh, yeah. They had like thousands of got milk ads, like the 90s, early 2000s. Everybody was got milk. Every athlete, every actor. And that's one of the biggest things that gives our people, black people, Israelites, mucus. We can't eat what the nations eat. They eat raw meat. They eat drink milk, drink cow's milk, and nothing happened to them. We eat the same foods they eat and we get sick. Ice cream.
All right, let's just jump down. Let's I'm gonna get go ahead and get that. 1 Samuel. Yeah, 30. That's what I'm gonna do.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 30.
Start at 9.
And verse 9. So David went, he and the 600 men that were with him, and came to the brook Besor, where those that were left behind stayed. But David pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 abode behind, which were so faint that they could not go over the brook Besor.
Read.
And they found an Egyptian in the field, and brought him to David, and gave him bread, and he did eat. And they made him drink water.
Read.
And they gave him a piece of cake of figs,
Read.
and 2 clusters of raisins. For when he had eaten, his spirit came again to him.
When he did what?
When he had eaten, his spirit came again to him.
Read.
For he had eaten no bread, nor drunk any water, 3 days and 3 nights.
Okay, so now, what is one of the things that he gave him? The figs. Go ahead and read that definition of the figs and what the health benefits of figs are. Just see how our forefathers was getting down, understanding the benefits of keeping themselves up and healthy.
So figs, not fig Newtons. Figs. Figs have a variety of potential health benefits. They may improve digestion and decrease constipation, help manage blood fat and blood sugar levels, and kill cancer cells.
That's some heavy stuff right there that our forefathers knew, man, how to keep themselves up. When you look at how long they lived and everything like that, just based on how they were eating and doing things.
And you know what's crazy? Instead of giving us those natural fruits and natural herbs and medicines we need, they'll mix it in with all their chemical BS and give it to us. Like all the medicines they give us in the pharmacies, they take some properties of healthy herbs and stuff from it, but mix in their chemicals and their drugs, which make us what? Make us addicted to them, give us side effects, and make us reliant upon them, where our body now needs that unnatural ingredient.
Yeah, because you think about it like Prince. Prince got hurt. He jumped off a speaker or something like that. This dude had never did no type of drugs in his whole life. They gave him painkiller medicine. He got addicted and then overdosed and died.
Hey, let's see what we can do to avoid these diseases out here and the sicknesses. Let's get Exodus 15 and 26.
The book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 26, and said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and wilt do that which is right in his sight.
You see that thing? So you got to listen, learn the commandments, and actually do them or apply them. Read.
And keep all his statutes. I will put none of these diseases upon thee.
You see that? The Most High won't put these diseases upon you,
which I have brought upon the Egyptians. For I am the Lord that healeth thee.
I brought upon the other nations. At that time, it was the Egyptians. But these diseases upon the other nations, heavy. Now, let's get Deuteronomy 32 and 39. Yeah, 32, 39.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 39. See now that I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
You see that thing? So what the Most High say? He said, I wound, and I heal. So it would behoove you to what? Please the Most High God. Do what's right in his eye. Do the will of the Father. Keep the commandments. If he's the one that heals and makes alive, it will behoove you to please him.
And also to put your trust in him, to go with what you're bringing out. Yep. Can we get real quick, get Deuteronomy 33 and 29. Because in order for us to do the commandments and keep the commandments, we got to put our trust in the Most High. Because we do everything that this man tell us to do. People got face shields on, 16 masks, gloves, in their own damn car. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places.
It's crystal clear that these people lying, man.
Yeah, because it was in that video that we played earlier with Dr. Fauci. In the video, in his emails, he said the mask don't work. He said the mask don't work in his emails, but he's telling everybody they got to wear a mask. That's the mess right there, man. And you got all these people running around with masks, and then they saying that a lot of people is catching bacterial pneumonia from wearing the mask. Because my wife caught pneumonia because she had to wear the mask on her job, wearing that daggone mask.
Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 62.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 62. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God.
You see that thing? The Most High. Hey, when you read 61, read 61.
Verse 61, verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee.
You see that? All these diseases. At that time, diseases that was on the Egyptians that we witnessed, we was like, oh, hell no, I ain't trying to get none of that. The Most High say, I'm putting that on you. So all of these experimental diseases that be coming out here in the earth, the Most High say, hey, I'm going to plague you too, Israel, because you are not obedient to me. You are not obeying me. Read on.
Also, every sickness and every plague.
Every sickness and every plague in the earth.
Which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
See that? That's why I said in verse 62 how we was a large number and how we dwindled down from the sicknesses and illnesses. But it all went back to us not obeying the Father and keeping the commandments. Now let's get 1 Samuel 2 and 6.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive.
Again, the Lord kills and maketh alive. That's why some of these Christians are a bunch of clowns. Like, you don't truly believe the Bible. Because if you truly believe that thing, you understand that the Most High God kills and make alive. A lot of times they're like, oh, Satan fighting against. No, the Most High God kills and make alive. Finish that.
Satan don't want me to prosper. The book of 1 Samuel chapter 2 and 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up.
Yep. That it on that? All right, let's jump to Psalms. Psalms 41. Psalms 41. Psalms 41, start at verse 1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 41 and verse 1. Blessed is he that considereth the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble.
So now, right here, this first verse, when it says consider the poor, that's Israel. And remember, it's just not all Israel. It's the righteous amongst Israel. Remember, you got to remember Sirach 12 and 4 about do good unto the godly. Read on.
The Lord will preserve him.
The Lord will preserve him. He's preserving those that's doing his will or keeping his commandments. Yeah, not the damn face mask. You see that thing? Come on, read on.
And keep him alive.
And keep him alive. Read on.
And he shall be blessed upon the earth. And thou wilt not deliver him unto the will of his enemies.
You see that? The will or the plans that the enemy has for him, the Most High says, nah, I have a hedge over him. The will or the plan that you got for this brother or sister, it ain't going to come to pass. Read.
The Lord will strengthen him upon the bed of languishing. Thou wilt make all his bed in his sickness.
You see that? Hey, the Most High will That's why officer said earlier, trust in the Lord. You keeping them law, statutes, commandments, you trust in the Lord, that will be the health to your navel. That's in Proverbs 3 and 7. Get that real quick. Proverbs 3, 7, and 8.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 7. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord.
Fear the Lord. Read.
And depart from evil.
Depart from evil meaning what? Keep the commandments. Read.
It shall be health to thy navel.
You see that? It shall be health to thy navel.
And marrow to thy bones.
And you will make strong bones. It'll make you a healthy body. That way you won't be suffer from illnesses and sicknesses. Is that it? All right, jump to get that look at this video. Get that video. All right, give it verse 4 then.
Verse 4. I said, Lord, be merciful unto me. Heal my soul, for I have sinned against thee.
You see that? So yes, acknowledging your sins. All right, now let's get this video.
Consequences of high estrogen in men. Number one, it increases your risk of a stroke Why? Because excess estrogen increases your risk of getting blood clots. Now, estrogen, specifically estradiol, typically is at higher levels when someone has a heart attack and when men have atherosclerosis. So too much estrogen is very dangerous to your cardiovascular system. Also, when you have estrogen dominance, your prostate could start to enlarge. So estrogen is an anabolic hormone. It grows things. So the next question is, why are men becoming estrogen dominant? Well, it could be the soy products they're consuming, because soy potentially can increase estrogen. And I'm not talking about the organic tofu or the organic miso soup or organic fermented soy products like natto. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about conventional soy oil, soy protein isolates, and the soy products that you would see in a lot of the vegetarian foods. Now, it also could come from something called endocrine disruptors. So there are these things in the environment like pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, and fungicides that have the effect of mimicking estrogen. So endocrine disruptors are also called estrogen disruptors. So the more that you have in the body, the more estrogen effects you're going to have in the body. Now, also, if you're consuming a lot of commercial dairy, this could potentially increase your estrogen levels. Now, while these definitely will increase estrogen, there's something that creates a bigger effect in your body. And that would be this: the conversion of testosterone to estrogen by this one enzyme called aromatase. If you have too much of this enzyme, that could be your number one source of estrogen, because it's just converting your testosterone to estrogen. So as your testosterone goes down, you lose your get up and go, you lose your lean body mass, and you start getting breast tissue, enlarged prostate, and increasing your risk for all sorts of other problems. So now the question is, where is this enzyme coming from? Well, can you take a wild guess? Your belly fat. Having more fat in the midsection increases this enzyme. So what do you do? Now, you could take an aromatase inhibitor to stop this process, okay? And there's some natural ones like DIM, which is a concentrated form of cruciferous vegetables. So that would be the other thing. Cruciferous vegetables typically are a natural source for aromatase inhibitors, like kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower. Also, stinging nettle root is a natural herb that is an aromatase inhibitor. It's also really good for inflammation. But the other thing you need to do to get rid of this is simply reduce your overall insulin. Insulin is causing this right here. Now, how do you do that? If you're new to my channel, what you need to do is you need to do something called the ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting. And I put the most important video right here to get started. Check it out.
Hey, bro, see that thing right there? A lot of this stuff comes from, you got to think about this. Esau is wise. They've studied this thing, right? They've researched all of it. They understand the causes, but yet they put the stuff in the foods. So they want you to get sick to come to them. Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, because they said the pest control, so the stuff they use in the pest control helps contribute to that. They said the dairy products, not that dairy is necessarily bad, but they use something, I forget what they use in it, to make the cows produce more milk. And that's why you get that. There's some kind of hormones that they use to make the cows produce more milk that carries over to humans. But he said that to get better from that, you eat natural whole foods and the different herbs that he said. And also something that the Most High gave us that we didn't have time to get into is fasting. They talk about fasting to get over that.
And what makes it even worse is when you do switch your diet over and start eating better, some other people get priced out of that. Some people literally cannot afford better alternatives of food. And the so-called food programs they do give to our people is nothing but crap. All they give you is high C, Tampico. They give you all the dregs of the food. They don't give you nothing healthy.
Yeah, what makes you question that free medicine?
Exactly.
Right. That's why fasting is key, family. Like I said, we didn't have time, but that's why fasting is key for that. That reduces your insulin levels, increases testosterone levels in the men. So that intermittent fasting is key.
Let's get Proverbs 4, 1 and 2.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law.
You see that? The Most High has given us good doctrine, which is his laws, statutes, and commandments. He's given us what we need to do, the plan of action of what we need to do to live. Jump.
Verse 4. He taught me also, and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words. Keep my commandments and live.
You see that thing? Keep my commandments and live. So if you focus on keeping God's commandments, the Most High said, look, I'm gonna have you live. You're going to live. You're going to run your course. You're not going to be cut short by some sickness and be troubled in the earth. Because you better believe Esau's trying to wipe us out through illnesses and sickness. Why you think that all of the worst restaurants and food products are in the black and Hispanic neighborhoods?
Right, and why we lead in all degenerative diseases, high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, gout, all the diabetes, because what they putting in the food. Understand, it's an agenda, a specific agenda to target a specific group of people.
Now jump to 23. Okay.
The book of Isaiah, chapter
20, verse 20 and 23 through 23.
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 20. My son, attend to my words. Incline thine ear unto my sayings.
Read.
Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart.
In other words, meditate on them, keep them in your mind. Live your life day to day, thinking about the Most High God's laws. Read.
For they are life unto those that find them.
You see that? They are life unto those that find them and do them. Read.
And health to all their flesh.
And health to your flesh. Like I said this a long time ago. I might have been put to death a long time ago if I wasn't in the truth. You know what I'm saying? The Most High would have been killed me off long time ago. But because I focus on the truth, keeping God's laws, statutes, commandments, it's the help to my navel. Read.
Keep thy heart with all diligence. For out of it are the issues of life.
You see that? For out of it is the issues of life. So the Most High God is actually telling you what you need to do to have that health.
All right, get Sirach 1 and 18 real quick. Cause
and I want to play that video too that we was talking about.
You want the fasting? Yeah. So let's can we get ready to cue that fasting video up after we read this right here. Sirach 1 and 18.
The book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 18. The fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom. Making peace.
Making what?
Making peace. And perfect health.
Making peace and perfect health. That peace goes in also to your peace of mind. Peace among your neighbors because you know how to deal civilly with your brother and sister. That'll reduce your stress levels. Which will reduce sickness. Read.
To flourish. Both which are the gifts of God.
What is perfect health?
Both which are the gifts of God.
So a peace of mind and perfect health are gifts from the Lord. Read.
And it enlargeth the rejoicing that love him.
And you got to think about it. If the Lord said he's going to give you a gift, when you give your child a gift, that's normally what? To reward him for good behavior. That's why the scriptures is clear. A lot of times when we get sick, not all the time, we are in the midst of sin. That's why the scriptures say don't be negligent. You got the video? Y'all got the video queued up? Yeah, let's roll this video on fasting. Real good video.
Fasting is the new fad, and if you check numerous forums where people talk about their fasting experience, you'll find it has helped a lot of people lose weight. You'll see people talking about how they tried all kinds of diets, the low carb, the keto diet, low fat, reduced sugar, all kinds. But for some folks, none of those worked for them. Then they fasted, and the weight came off. On top of that, they talk about mental clarity, feeling light on their feet, more agile. You can watch David Sinclair, a professor in the Department of Genetics at Harvard Medical School, telling people they should skip meals, something in the past that was seen as an unhealthy way to live. So what actually happens when you fast? Either doing the short intermittent fasts or the grueling 5-day fasts? Let's find out. Harvard University is where we decided to go to find out about intermittent fasting, only because we believe we can trust the school's research over some other more dubious health guru websites. Scientists at Harvard, including David Sinclair, who we just mentioned, have done all kinds of tests on rats to see what makes them healthier or unhealthier. When it comes to fasting, the rats came out looking pretty good. The results were often the same with any of the rats on a fast. It would lose weight, and its blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugars would often improve. The U.S. National Institutes of Health agreed that when rats fasted, there were health benefits, including a more efficient energy metabolism. That's rats though, not humans. So what scientists then had to find out is, would humans get the same benefits? Should we give up 3 square meals a day or lots of small meals and just deprive ourselves of food now and again? Let's have a look at what happens to the body when we fast. The experts tell us that when we don't feed ourselves for somewhere between 12 and 16 hours, our glycogen stores in our liver become depleted. The body then switches from using sugar as a source of energy to using fat. If you did a lot of exercise, this can also happen. This metabolic state that happens during this time we call ketosis, and this brings about changes in the body. Most of us don't actually reach this state because we've grown up being told to eat when we're hungry, don't go to school on an empty stomach, or we just put sugar in that morning coffee at the office. Fasting means trying to avoid calorie intake, although there are some that say that a few calories might still keep your body in the fasting state. That's debatable, as some say only have water or tea. As we said, some leading researchers around the world did lots of tests on rats, allowing some to eat what they wanted and others were only given food now and again. This is the conclusion we found in one paper that was published by the National Institutes of Aging. Emerging evidence suggests that intermittent dietary energy restriction might improve overall health and reduce risk factors for diabetes and cardiovascular disease in humans. Our new findings in laboratory animals provide evidence that similar intermittent eating patterns can enhance the beneficial effects of aerobic exercise on endurance performance. You can read a lot of books on why our obesity crisis happened, and the long and short of it is many people are too sedentary or just eat way too much and way too much sugary processed food.
You see that thing? That's why Israel has been pushing for everyone to burn the fat. Burn the fat, because guess what? We understand that these other nations want to kill us off with the foods. That's why they say, look, Israel, y'all need to become healthy. Y'all need to change the way y'all eat, burn the fat, exercise, be active, because understand this, the enemy is trying to kill all of you off, and that's one of their agendas and plans to get rid of us through our food and through our medicines, like Bill Gates said, through good health care.
Hey, I was also going to say, though, but if you look at it also, it's showing you that the Most High gave us, that's another tool that the Most High gave us to get healthy. Because just, the Most High, it talks about fasting all throughout the Bible. But our forefathers would use that not only to, to pray and different things like that, but also to get healthy.
Right. Can I get a scripture real quick? Hold what you got. Get Psalms 78, 30, and 31. Hold that real quick, because that video right there speaks a lot, because America, this society is based on access. Like I said, you can literally drive to a concrete building. They got a window cut out, and they literally shove food in your mouth when you pull up to the window. I mean, it's crazy. People just driving. You look at the Chick-fil-A lines, they just shoving food in people's car. Uber Eats.
And think about the McDonald's and all that, how them things is everywhere.
Right. In our community, though.
Yeah.
Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 78 and verse 30. They were not estranged from their lust.
The lust of the belly, talking about the food, man.
But while their meat was yet in their mouths.
Right, because we sat by the flesh pots in Egypt, just like the day where you getting food delivered. You can get any food delivered to your house now. Read.
The wrath of God came upon them and slew the fattest of them.
Did what?
And slew the fattest of them. And smote down the chosen men of Israel.
Man, that's a heavy scripture writer. That's why what's that? Yeah, read the next verse.
For all this they sinned still, and believe not for his wondrous works.
Right, so you still had jokers out there just punishing food, man. So we want to learn from that mistake and don't go into the, when we leave up out of here and get delivered into the wilderness, understand, let's not be excessive like the Babylonian system told us to be.
Hey, that's why we got to burn the fat, Israel. Hey, it's high time that we burn the fat. If you got to start slow, start doing something. Do the intermittent fasting. That's probably one of the more effective things. And that way, you actually will become accustomed to it. You'll be accustomed to eating after a certain time of the day within a certain window, and you'll find out you'll get better health benefits from it. So, you know what I'm saying, Israel, we gotta improve our health overall. Now let's get Isaiah 31, 1-3.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 31 and verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
So this is talking about woe or destruction to them. At this time, it's saying go down to Egypt, but it's really talking about the other nations too. You want to go to the other nations for help instead of trusting in the Most High. He's telling you what to do. Read.
And stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many.
Yeah, they trust in these other nations, or they trust in their medicines, or they trust in their science, or they trust in their wealth, power, influence, or television. Their vision becomes their own frame of thought, and that it makes it. You got to think about this. Common sense tells you if the media or television says, "Hey, Bob, it's going to be a bad flu season this year." How can you predict that unless you're giving out free flu shots?
Right. Or they sit up and say, man, it's going to be a surprise outbreak in 2017.
Yep.
The dude say this in 2015. How the hell is it a surprise if you tell them when it's going to happen, man? Come on, man.
It's little.
That's common sense.
It's literally in the name. Tell a lie vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me the same man that predicted a surprise outbreak, is
Right.
the same man that funded the lab, and the
Right.
same man that's controlling the actual
medicine
right now?
I just like, how can you say it's a surprise outbreak in the year?
Hey,
We're gonna find the video.
Esau wicked as hell.
Because y'all think we making this stuff up. man.
Babylon runs this earth. It's high time you brothers and sisters out there wake the hell up. Keep the commandments. Because America is Babylon the Great, and they run the earth. Go ahead, you got that video? All right.
We're going to
keep
find
reading.
the video.
Keep reading. Keep
We're gonna
reading.
show you the doctor.
Because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel.
Yeah, and they don't trust in the Lord. They trust in the other nations for their help and support. You got the video? All right, put that up. Put that up.
I thought I would bring that perspective to the topic today, is the issue of pandemic preparedness. And if there's one message that I want to leave with you today based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. And I hope by the end of my relatively short presentation, you will understand why history, the history of the last 32 years that I've been the director of NIAID will...
Hey, you see Esau? Damn, bro. This is Babylon.
How do you predict how is it a surprise outbreak if you already know it's coming? Like if somebody planning a party for you and it's supposed to be a surprise party and one of your boys say, hey, they got a surprise party for you. Bruh, it's not a surprise no more, man. That's already letting you know. That's like, come on, fam.
Hey, finish reading that up in Isaiah.
Neither, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Verse 2, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are men and not God.
Yeah, hey, the white man is not God, Israel. Seize a boat. They done set themselves up as God, but they are not. But our people trust in that more so than they trust in the Most High God. Hey, let's go. Actually, we got this next video. We got this next. No, actually, get Amos. Get Amos 5 first. Amos 5 and 18.
The book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you?
Hey, the day of the Lord is the return of Christ. Read.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
That thing right there is going to be a dreadful day, and Lord's will, we got our mind right where we get taken up, because I'm telling you, man, that nuclear fire is coming. Babylon the Great, the Most High has built up Babylon the Great so powerful that it is the superpower in the earth. It dictates, you got to think about that. Even you got the World Bank, which is controlled by the U.S. You got the World Health Organization, which is also arranged and controlled by the U.S. Yeah, the UN is created by them. That's up here in New York. So this nation runs the earth. They have influence in all of the earth. That's why they're in everybody's business.
Yeah. With the military bases, ain't no way you should, if somebody's your enemy, you should have a base of operations in their territory, in their land.
Yep. Read. Verse 19.
Verse 19. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand upon the wall, and a serpent bit him.
I mean, you ain't going to escape that thing. Read.
Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light?
Yeah, it ain't going to be hugs and kisses, Lord, naked white baby angels coming out. Hell no. Destruction is coming. All you wicked Israelites that don't keep God's laws, statutes, commandments, death is coming for you. All you brothers and sisters that's in the midst of that idolatry, which is Christianity, destruction is coming for you. Hey, what's that in on that?
Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it?
Hey, let's play, let me see. We got time for this? Yeah, let's play. Yeah, get Jeremiah. Get Jeremiah. Jeremiah 3 and 22. Jeremiah 3 and verse 22 and 23.
Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 22.
Hey, read verse 14.
Verse
Read
14
first.
Turn, O backsliding children.
Back, that means you Israelites. Return back to the Father. Read.
Saith the Lord, for I am married unto you.
Because he made that covenant with the Israelites. The Israelites were the chosen nation out of all the earth. Read.
And I will take you one of a city, and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion.
So the Most High is going to return us back unto Zion, not the League of Nations, not damn Babylon the Great going to step. How the hell the devil going to set up, bring us back into the Holy Land? Come on, man. Read. Oh, yeah, read verse 13. Read verse 13.
Verse 13. Only acknowledge thine iniquity.
Acknowledge thy sins. Read.
That thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God.
See, thou hast transgressed. So now, my Christianity brothers and sisters, in order for you to acknowledge your sins, you must know what a sin is, which means you must learn the laws in order to know what transgressions you have done. That's common sense. That's basic elementary stuff. Come from underneath that strong delusion. Read.
And has scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree.
You see that thing? So we want to follow after all the other nations and all the doctrines, all of their customs. We trust in that thing. They like this. No, Santa Claus is real. No, Easter eggs and Easter bunnies. I love Christmas.
Yeah, we trust in this medicine too. That's why people lining up to get that thing, man.
Hey, what? I'm talking about, that's why I said, man, if they tell it on TV, oh, you got to do this. Hey, you know the two mask things? They actually suggested it. They didn't say to do it. They suggested, hey, this might maybe be a little bit more helpful. And the next day, you got Jakes out there doing it. Damn. Read. Yeah, they ain't going to keep the laws, though. Hey, the Most High been telling us this for hundreds and hundreds of years to keep the laws, and we shall live. But, hey, Israel didn't listen. That's why we went to captivity after captivity after captivity after captivity. But yet we trust in our oppressor and do what he says. Read.
Damn. Verse 22, return ye backsliding children, and I will heal your backslidings.
You see that? And I would heal you. Read.
Behold, we come unto thee, for thou art the Lord our God.
You see that? Hey, then let's jump to read that next verse.
Truly in vain is salvation hoped for. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel.
Now let's jump. Let's play this. Let's play this music video. Let's play this music video.
Yo, it's 2020. Every evil scene is 2020. My spiritual eye open like the back of your money. I'm a soldier. We show the road punches with composure. In the midst of wolves, so we wise like a cobra. It's war outside. Ghost towns. People walk with heads down. Mask on like the purge emergency sounds. Bodies dropping like Tyson. There's fury out here. Getting wilder out here. People moving in fear, social distancing, cognitive dissonance, governing preeminence, praying to the black Jesus for my deliverance. I'm cautious, secret plots make me nauseous. The devil versus Satan to remove Trump from office. Quarantine, COVID-19 out here causing scenes. Underhanded scheme just to make cream and push vaccines. I fear the Elohim, trying to cure fiends, planting pure seeds, but people never get truth unless it's on me.
This pestilence prophetic, you'll need more than a medic. It's been a pandemic, we the victims of eugenics. They stole the bones of our ancestors and stole the relics. They made us seem demonic when we angelic. I stopped burning kush to learn about the burning bush. And like a newborn babe, I came barefoot. See Christianity just like Perico. So when Columbus came, it's like he came with 3 boatloads of kilos. The Catholic priest had the Bible with perverted teachings. Conquistadors had swords and blankets with diseases. They said just pray to white Jesus and this will all be over. And now it's 2020, white Jesus can't cure corona. There's levels to this and the black guard's the final boss. He got y'all wearing face masks, gloves and afraid to cough. Social distancing requires 6 feet of space. But if you cough, you might see 6 feet stomp your face. Or catch a Moab diet, find out how back taste. I'm war ready, my loins girded, my boots laced. Been wrestling for a while. In the book of Kings, the split of Israel was a royal rumble, but without a ring. You're acting like COD zombies, cause the COVID 19, my weapon the KJV.
Population control on this land is stolen. Field niggas awoken. House niggas is broken.
Bill, good afternoon to you. As if there wasn't enough going on around the world with this coronavirus business, national security rearing its head again today with the president sending a sharp warning to the Iranian leadership about what might be in the works in Iraq in the coming days. The president tweeting, upon information and belief, Iran or its proxies are planning a sneak attack on U.S. troops and or assets in Iraq. If this happens, Iran will pay a very heavy price indeed.
Mass media, buck breaking in pixels. Deception is crystal. Pistols firing till we see missiles. Third war apocalypse. Helicopters drop. They shoot viruses every election. It's all politics. Round table crackers laughing at the masses. Battling for rashes. Mad distractions cause they stay capping at every axis. That's why I pray to God first and read God's verses. Rehearsing the righteous acts. But we living in the curses. It's survival of the fittest. Pestilences make the excellent. Redeveloping while we await the second exodus. The signs of the times, earthquakes or war crimes, UFO sites, poverty or infected enzymes, revelation chapters decoded by the Israelites. The red dragon and the 4 horsemen is the Edomites. Yeah. Iuic.
Bars.
Hey, Officer Lim brought the fire.
That's
Damn.
rap.
Yeah, that's real rap right there. Hey. All right, let's get Second Chronicles 20:35. Last 2 scripts. Second Chronicles 2:20-35 and 30 through 37.
The book of Second Chronicles, chapter 20 and verse
35.
35. And after this did Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, join himself with Ahaziah, king of Israel, who did very wickedly.
Wicked Negroes, read.
And he joined himself with him to make ships to go to Tarshish. And they made the ships in Azon-Gabir. Then Eleazar, the son of Dodava of Mareshapha, prophesied against Jehoshaphat, saying, because thou hast joined thyself with Ahaziah, the Lord hath broken thy works.
They destroyed them things, read.
And the ships were broken, that they were not able to go to Tarshish.
Which is like Spain. So hold on. That means Israel had ships back in that time. So that means Christopher Columbus and them didn't just create ships.
So I mean, we weren't in loincloths then.
Oh yeah. Boy, I tell you. Hey, this truth is gonna come out. This truth is gonna come. Hey, it's because if you notice, over these last couple of years, more and more truth has been coming out.
Yep.
How the so-called African American or the Moors ruled Europe. Like, that was hidden history for many years. Nobody really knew about that thing. Now let's
like
get
you said,
Psalms.
You're seeing all types of stuff shaping up. You're seeing even the spirit that the bishop moving in, helping to get our sisters in order, because understand this man has attacked the family structure, and we need our sisters to get in order for us to have a strong, vibrant, and effective nation. So, you know, Lord's will, the sisters continue growing in the spirit and getting built up.
Hey, because we understand that that's one of the a bishop brought something heavy. He brought that thing. He said, hey, you know, 2/3 of Israel is supposed to die, and sisters outnumber the men,
right?
By far. That means a lot of them gonna be sisters.
Right. But even in though, when you read about that, that's part of the sickness in our community. Though, understand this: we going over food and medicine, but spiritually, with our houses and our sisters being out of order. As we rebuilding this nation, obviously the men got to get it right too. But we understand that same spirit that deceived Eve in the garden is operating in full effect here in Babylon. So the Bible is a holistic medicine, if you will.
Hey, because what we notice in this truth is it's a lot easier for a lot of brothers to grasp the truth, but it's a struggle, not for all sisters, but it's a struggle for a lot of sisters to grasp, to get themselves in order according to what's written. Because in the scriptures, men have their role and sisters have their role, or their laws, statutes, commandments that they must apply that's specific for them. So if they don't do that, remember the Most High judges us according to our actions. Are we being obedient to him, or disobedient? So that's a heavy thing that the bishop brought out about that, because a lot of sisters, you know what I'm saying, they just be, I don't know, lackadaisical,
right,
at ease.
And they identify with this character that the white man created, that a typical black woman should be. That thing was created and during the Willie Lynch letters when you read about that. So a lot of our sisters identify with that character of a person, and that's not how you're supposed to operate.
He's still carrying on that with the like your Beyoncé's, with the music, the independent woman, and they always, like, it's subtle things. Like, you'll watch a commercial, you'll see the mother and the child, but you don't see the father when they're dealing with the black families, all these type of things like that. So they always pushing that narrative that the black man is not in the picture, that the woman's running everything.
Right, and that's health. That's the spiritual health as well. So, you know, we talking about the food and medicine, but we can't ignore that right there is a key, I guess you would say, supplement or ingredient in the restoring the health of a nation.
Yeah. Hey, we need sisters to trust in their own stock, trust in your Lord, because a lot of times, a lot of our sisters, and I think this is one of the things that prevents them from converting, and this is just some, not all, is that they trust in the enemy. They trust in the white man and his society and what he has established, instead of trusting in their own nation and the rebuilding of the nation of Israel.
And it's a process, because the image of the black man has been destroyed. So the sisters have to see value in the men for them to put their trust.
And you know that's what it is.
Right. We got to make sure we're doing our part as well. So, you know, it's a team effort here.
They like, oh, this is just a phase. This
Right.
nigga ain't gonna keep this up for long. You know, that be the thought in a lot of sisters' minds. So they like, nah, I'ma still trust in my oppressor. Some sisters get on board. They push that thing wholeheartedly, and all praises for that.
Right.
But we need more. We need y'all sisters as getting y'all thing right, to encourage the other sisters to also get on board to help build our nation.
And bring them gifts that you bring to further the white man's agenda. You got to repent and repurpose yourself and leverage your assets and abilities and talents to build your nation. All of us got to do that to help build Israel. Let's go ahead and bring this up.
Yeah, let's get this last verse. Psalms 59.
The book of Psalms, chapter 59 and verse 1. Deliver me from mine enemies, O my God.
See that thing? It says, deliver me from mine enemies. The enemies are the other nations, according to Psalms 83. Read.
Defend me from them that rise up against me.
That rise up against me. Read.
Deliver me from the workers of iniquity.
The workers of sin. So we just observe the society. Meditate on this and observe your surrounding society. The workers of sin. Man can legally marry man. What's some of this other crazy stuff they got out here? They got all types of bestiality. Oh yeah. We just saw that the other day. The bestiality is legal in a few states within the United States. So it's legal for you to marry your pet.
Maybe that's why Esau done took over Chocolate City. Just moved back into D.C.
Hell yeah. All of them running around with a dog. Hey, read on.
And save me from bloody men.
And save me from bloody or violent men that love to shed
Dr.
blood.
Fauci.
Yep, read.
For lo, they lie in wait for my soul.
They lie in wait for my soul. They got big plans to destroy the nation of Israel.
So the medicine line ain't gonna help you, is what you're telling me, officer.
There you go. Read.
The mighty are gathered against me. Not from my transgressions, nor from my sin, O Lord. They run and prepare themselves without my fault. Awake to help me, and behold. Thou therefore, O Lord God of hosts, the God of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressors. Selah.
As the Lord has spoken.
All right, with that family, we say shalom.
Most
High Christ bless.
Shalom. Most High Christ bless.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.